Do people trust? Okay, be honest with me. Guild Wars 2 players in my chat right now. Do you guys trust your developers? Are they piles of dog shit like they are in BDO? Do they listen to you? Or is it like TNL where they listen to you? I trust the Guild Wars 2 devs. Yes. Okay. Now, BDO players. BDO players in the chat. Okay, see, this is why I'm nervous. BDO players in the chat, do you trust the Black Desert developers? Look, I'm just showing the contrast. I'm just showing the contrast, okay? This is where I'm coming from, okay? This is why I have trust issues. This is why I have no girlfriend. That and the fact I'm 30 pounds overweight, but we're working on that. Okay, Guild Wars 2 playthrough for Blue Squadron. July. It's happening. I have it on the schedule. It's happening. So now I'm starting to catch up on events and stuff that's happening for the game. It said Guild Wars 2 is changing forever. This video is like 3 days old, so.
New is...
All right, so here's the Guild Wars 2. This is Guild Wars 2 is changing forever.
Changing. ArenaNet has pretty much torn up its old roadmap, thrown out the conventions of the last decade, and is charting a totally new course. For some, this is the most exciting time to be a player. For others, it's a period of deep uncertainty. But one thing is crystal clear, the future of Tyria will not look like its past. What's coming next will redefine this game for years to come, and if you...
Oh god, are they changing PvP in this game too? Oh no, are we becoming beta cucks in this game too? Not again, man. Bro.
want to be prepared.
First BDO, then Throw to Liberty, and now I've got Guild Wars 2.
These are a couple
no PvP. Okay.
Things that you need to understand as these huge shifts start happening. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more Guild Wars 2 content. For over a decade, the rhythm of Guild Wars 2 was simple. We get like a massive, infrequent expansion and then a long season of Living World story episodes. It was a model that gave us epic high points like Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire. But it also created some serious content droughts that left players just waiting. Starting with the secrets
Hashtag any MMO not dead. All MMOs are dead. Shut up.
of the Obscure expansion, ArenaNet switched to a radical new plan. Smaller annual expansions backed up by major quarterly updates. The goal was straightforward.
I feel like the smaller expansions backed up by quarterly updates is a better like business plan. I think it keeps people better engaged in the game.
Deliver more content, more consistent.
Final Fantasy only releases like one expansion like every like a gajillion years, it feels like. And when it comes out, everybody plays Final Fantasy 14, bro. That shit goes crazy. But like, then that's it. Then that shit dies. And then like nobody plays it anymore.
Consistently and give better support to all game systems. But this change has had a ripple effect, touching everything from how the stories are told and how the game is updated to the financial health of the game itself. So let's break it all down. These are the 5 critical long-term trends that you absolutely need to understand about the future of Guild Wars 2. The single biggest change to Guild Wars 2 future is the new content model. Forget having 2 or 3 or even 4 years waiting for a huge expansion. ArenaNet is now committed to faster, more predictable annual cycle expansion. Every year, we can expect a new, smaller scale expansion that kicks off a fresh story arc and brings new open world maps, strike missions, and of course, masteries and other rewards. But the expansion is just the start. The real engine of this new update is the quarterly updated schedule that follows. Throughout the year, these updates build on the expansion's foundations. They add more story chapters, expand playable maps, introduce challenge modes for strikes, and roll out a couple new fractals.
I know some of these words. Sure. Yeah. What I think is essentially happening is they release the expansion as like bare bones kind of at the start of the year. And then throughout the year, they're just fleshing it out and adding more content to it.
This play out with Secrets of the Obscure, and we saw it again with Janthier Wilds. The idea is to create constant forever momentum, transforming the game from one of dramatic spaced out changes into a steady persistent evolution. The shift is a direct answer to one of the community's oldest complaints: content droughts. The long waits between expansions and even Living World seasons often cause players to lose interest and then drop off. This new cadence is designed
nearly 4.5 years between POF and EOD. I assume those are expansions. But LWS4 and IBS was also created in this time. You guys got irritable bowel syndrome? Waiting for an expansion? Never mind. I'm never going to complain about Black Desert ever again. I'm going to be a good boy. I'm going to be a good boy.
To fix exactly that, ensuring that there's always something new right around the corner. It allows ArenaNet to be
It took them 4 years to get one expansion out. Holy shit.
more flexible, to add new features, and to keep the world of Tyria feeling alive and dynamic all the time. It's kind of like a promise to us players that the game will be more active and consistently supported than ever before. But as we'll see, actually developing on that promise has its own set of challenges. The second major trend that we've seen is the subtle but incredibly important shift of ArenaNet's development philosophy. While the new model is built for speed, the studio has made it clear that it won't sacrifice quality or their team's well-being.
Is that the Necromancer? I'm playing the wrong class. She's super hot.
Speed, the studio has made it clear that it won't sacrifice quality or
I'm playing the wrong class.
their team's well-being just to hit a deadline. The proof? They've already delayed the game's 6th expansion. Originally, it was slated for an August release, just like the other expansions before.
Wait, really?
Under this
Wait, did the Guild Wars 2 expansion not come out yet?
new model. However, ArenaNet has announced they've pushed it back to October of 2025. In the announcement,
Okay, yo, guys. I'm going to do the full Guild Wars 2 playthrough. And then in August or in October, we get to be part of the expansion. Yo, we're big.
game director Josh Davis was blunt, stating, "This extra time will allow us to ensure the expansion meets our quality standards without crunching. This isn't just some minor delay, it's a public statement of their values. In an industry
Yeah, I know. I did some PvP. They would win some. I would almost win others.
notorious for a brutal crunch culture, ArenaNet is signaling a commitment to
So
sustainable
help me PLS, I cut my finger, and there was blood and also chocolate and I licked it. Will I die now?
Yes, but slowly. It could happen anywhere between now and the next 115 years. But you are going to die now.
development. They're betting that a healthier team will make a better, more polished game, even if it means tweaking the schedule. Of course, this delay messes with the new content cadence a bit. It shifts the whole timeline for the quarterly updates
Could be viewed as development growing pains.
that follow, meaning the rhythm that we were just getting used to will now be recalibrated. But it also says a lot about their long-term vision. They're playing the long game. Instead of pushing out expansions that might feel rushed, they're taking their time to get it right. For players, this should be a good thing. It suggests that the annual releases won't become a content factory, just churning out all these soulless updates. This focus on
Legitimately trying to make quality content. You know, I've heard this somewhere before. Where have I heard this somewhere before? Do people trust... Okay, be honest with me. Guild Wars 2 players in my chat right now. Do you guys trust your developers? Are they piles of dog shit like they are in BDO? Do they listen to you? Or is it like TNO where they listen to you? I trust the Guild Wars 2 devs. Yes. Okay. Now, BDO players. BDO players in the chat. Okay, see, this is why I'm nervous. BDO players in the chat, do you trust the Black Desert developers? Look, I'm just showing the contrast. I'm just showing the contrast, okay? This is where I'm coming from, okay? This is why I have trust issues. This is why I have no girlfriend. That and the fact I'm 30 pounds overweight, but we're working on that.
quality is a trend that will likely define the player experience for years to come. For years,
I love how everybody on YouTube also said hell no. Snow Ranger, James, Demon King, Vice, everybody said
players have been asking for more than just new stories and maps. We've always wanted real, meaningful updates to the core systems that we interact with every day.
Radnor Kick responded with 2 out of 10. The chat.
The third major
Well, okay, so it's refreshing to hear that the game devs listen to feedback in Guild Wars 2. That makes me... Oh, that makes me... God.
trend that ArenaNet is finally digging into is just doing that. The future isn't about expanding the world, it's about deepening it. We're seeing this all over the place. One big one that I can call out is World v World. A game mode that many have felt was neglected is getting a huge, if slow, restructuring. The much discussed
Okay, I've heard this before. I've heard this shit before. Every time... God damn it. Every time I move my camera, he puts something on the screen right there. So I'm just going to move back down here. Erlibus said that they were going to restructure Node War, and then they completely ruined it. Please tell me they're going to ruin world versus world as I start playing Guild Wars 2?
Discussed alliance system is still in
Please,
the works.
God.
Then the recent updates have moved it to a continuous beta state to gather more data and make changes faster. In PvP, ArenaNet is trying to diversify the builds by adding new amulets and runes and making higher end gear easier to get, but everyone already has their opinion on PvP. These foundational updates are happening alongside a steady stream of balance patches and other quality of life improvements. I mean, recent updates have brought major reworks to skill and traits across all the different professions, trying to like shake up the meta and make more builds viable. We've also seen huge new features finally get added, like player housing with homesteads, a long requested feature that adds
I don't give a fuck about player housing, but you know what I do care about? Being able to ride something that isn't a goddamn horse.
a whole new layer of personal expression to the game.
That matters
On
to me.
top of that, the
For some reason, every MMO I play, it's only horses.
studio keeps investing in its game's tech, with the move to DirectX 11 laying the groundwork for
Even in World of Warcraft, classic, only a horse.
better performance
another
and
fucking
graphics
horse.
down the line. What this all tells us really is that ArenaNet's vision for the future isn't just about like what's next, but also trying to make what they already have better. They're actively working to modernize the old systems, respond to long-standing feedback, and invest in the game's technical health. This
You'll have a goddamn dragon for 5k plus hours then on Guild Wars 2? Okay, can I buy a dragon though and have it sooner? Can I do that? Something that I can do. It's not technically pay to win. If I spent money, can I have the dragon sooner? Yes. Okay, see? That's what... Okay, then... Bro, I'm not... Wait. He says, no, it's an achievement. I don't give a about driving that dragon. I just want to ride a dragon. Okay? Two things. One, the dung beetle thing that, like, charges up. That looks really cool. Two, flying. That's what I want.
holistic approach ensures that Guild Wars 2 isn't just getting bigger, it's getting better. Now, this one isn't something that you would see on like an official roadmap, but it's absolutely critical to understand where the game is headed. The economic and community response to this new model. While the annual expansion plan was meant to create stable revenue and a better work-life balance for devs, the results have been a kind of hot topic. Recent financial reports from the parent company NCSoft have shown a significant dip in revenue for Guild Wars 2.
Well, at least you made the list. Where the f is Throne of Liberty? Wait, what? Did Throne not even make the list? We got Guild Wars 2, Blade and Soul, Aeon, Lineage 2. What the f?
In the first quarter of 2025, sales dropped over 20% compared to the same time of last year. While some ups and downs are normal, this has sparked some real questions in the community about the financial health of this new model. It seems
TNL is in other games. Bullshit. Where's that at? There is no other games.
sparked some real questions in the community about the financial health of this new model. It seems the initial cash
Aeon 2 does look like it's going to be really good. I'm going to have a great time playing it on my mobile phone.
injection from the new expansion is followed by a steeper drop-off than expected, which suggests that smaller quarterly updates might not be
Whoa. We pay particularly close attention to Guild Wars 2 here, and we note that the Q1 of the game has not only slipped back to its pre-Jamther Wilds revenue, which makes sense given the game gets most of its expansion money for the year in Q4, but also didn't measure up at all that well compared to Q1 of 2024. This is giving us pause since we're on year 2 of this new content model, and last quarter, NCSoft praised Jamther Wild specifically as the chief driver of sales in North America and Europe. That's not good. So I got Pearl Abyss selling EVE Online. They're going tits up, and now I got, dude, why am I playing all this dead shit? Why am I attracted to dead games? I don't get it. Fuck it, I'm gonna play it anyway. It's a fun game.
leaving players spending as consistently as they would hope. This financial picture is reflected in a pretty complex
Don't worry, I'm gonna play and I will spend money. Rest assured.
community sentiment.
It will happen.
A lot of players love having a steady flow of new things to do.
See? How about the white dragon? I'll draw the white dragon's great.
There's a
I'll
growing
use the
worry
white dragon.
about the perceived quality and depth of content, especially in the story. Some veterans feel the quarterly story drops are rushed and they lack the epic and kind of grand scale of the old
Despite the focus on quality, it doesn't meet expectations.
Living World seasons. I mean, I'm looking at like Living World Season 4. That was peak. Is the trade-off of more consistent content worth a potential hit to narrative depth and innovation?
I'll just ask the players. Guild Wars 2 players in the chat, do you like the new model more than the old model? Do you like what he's explaining? Because it used to be just like really like content drought, but then massive amount of content all at once. This is like more content spaced out over time. Okay, on YouTube, they're saying the old one. No, not a Guild Wars player. Well, why the f would you answer, you dumbass? Not really. I haven't completed all the content. Well, then that means no. If you haven't completed all the content, that means they've done something wrong. I don't remember the old model. Short-term memory loss. I like it. Hi, I'm Dory. I don't care about PvE content. I also don't really care too much about PvE content, but you know what I'm looking forward to? I've never done a raid. I've never done a raid in any MMO ever. Never got to do it. I don't know if the first one will be in Throne, but Thrones is only like a 10-man raid. Or a 12-man raid or whatever. So...
Internet seems to know that there's pressure here. There has been whispers and database sightings of possible side projects with many.
I know TNL has a raid. I'm talking with the guild about doing it.
Speculating about a collectible card game. This could be a great way to diversify and create new revenue streams to keep their main MMO healthy. This trend is a stark reminder that Guild Wars 2 exists in the real world. Its future is shaped not just by the creative choices, but by the financial performance and the constant conversation with its passionate player base. All right, so that was all a lot, but what does this mean to you? What does this actually mean for your experience here in Tyria? Well, this last point is really just a combination of all the others. The very nature of being a Guild Wars 2 player is changing. The future of the game asks for a shift in our expectations, away from a game of epic occasional highs to one of continuous evolving engagement. First, your relationship with the story is going to be different. The days of waiting for the next chapter of a single massive saga are over. Instead, stories are more self-contained.
I'm going to be reaching level 80 well before the end of the story, right? Should I bother finishing the story? That's the real question. You hit max level. I don't know where to go get all my gear. Maybe you just start raiding. I don't know. I have no idea. I've just been kind of cruising through the story and exploring the world. That's been my thing. Finish the story to understand the lore. Do you want my honest opinion? I don't give a f about the lore. Now, the game's story has been pretty solid so far, overall. I mean, it's kind of slow at the beginning, but like it's been good. It's solid. But like, I care much more about the world versus world and the potential raid contest. That's what I care about. That's what I care about.
Here, delivered it.
Finish it
In a more frequent bite-sized chunk. This means that the narrative will feel faster and more immediate, but it might also feel less monumental than the decade-long Elder Dragon saga. Second, your character and its game features will be in a state of almost constant change. You can expect more frequent balance patches that could completely shift the meta for your favorite profession. New masteries will pop up every year with every expansion, and core systems like World v World and Fractals will get slow, steady improvements instead of massive one-and-done overhauls. This means being a player is less about reaching some static endgame and more adapting to the sandbox that's always evolving. Ultimately, ArenaNet's vision is to make Guild Wars 2 more accessible and consistently rewarding for everyone, whether you're a brand new player or a 10-year veteran. By getting rid of long waits and the pressures just to log in to unlock the free content, they're making it easier to jump in and come back. The game is becoming less of a commitment that you have to stress about keeping up with, and more of a world that you can feel comfortably stepping in and out, knowing that there's always something new to be discovered.
I don't think they want you to step in and out, though. That's the thing. I think he's got that part wrong. I think that the reason before the model made sense, stepping in and out made sense because you had like one expansion every 2 to 4 years, right? And it was like a big content drop. It's like huge spike in players, and then everybody stops playing. And then you would come back every time there was a big expansion, like a heartbeat, right? Now, I think their entire purpose behind like releasing an expansion every year and then trying to trickle out content over time is to try to maintain those players a little bit more consistently over time. And if it's not having that effect, that's probably not a good thing. No, you don't finish the story. You should only finish the story acts that have important stuff in important areas that unlocks behind the story act. I'm just going to kind of plunk my way through the story and see what happens.
Discovered without feeling like you've been hopelessly left behind. This player-focused approach centered on long-term sustainable fun is maybe the most important trend of all. All right, the future of Guild Wars 2, of course, is a complex picture painted in these trends. We're heading into an era of consistency we've never seen before, with a new expansion and major updates coming on the more predictable schedule. This is all guided by the clear commitment from ArenaNet to prioritize quality and their developers' well-being, even if it means bumping a release date. And that philosophy is also being applied to the game itself, with a deep focus on improving core systems, not just tacking on new content. But this is an ambitious new direction, and it isn't without its growing pains. The financial
He doesn't sound like he believes in this direction. I'll be honest with you. My read on his voice right now, he's not a believer. He does not like this card.
numbers in the community chatter show a real amount of tension between the desire for constant content and a demand for deep, high-quality experiences. And right in the middle of this is all the Guild Wars 2 players. Your entire experience, from story to progression, is being reshaped into a more fluid, constantly evolving journey.
I love the scale of Guild Wars 2 is so sick. Look how big this door is. There's nothing like that in BDO, bro. Look how big that door is. Look how tall the NPCs are, and look how big the goddamn door is.
It also should be stated that at some point, Guild Wars 3 is probably going to happen. It has
Cinema. Guild Wars 3 is my most anticipated game. God, please come out in 2026. Please come out in 2026. God, I hope it comes out in 2026. Because assuming that it's got large-scale PvP and it's just an upgraded version of Guild Wars 2, holy shit, that game could be good.
has been confirmed publicly by NCSoft, but as far as in other information, we have none. The one thing we can say for sure is that ArenaNet is actively building for the future of Guild Wars 2, not just coasting. The road ahead might look different from the one that we've already traveled, but it...
Guild Wars 3 finna be bad too. Prophecy, why the f are you so Are you the same Prophecy from BDO? That can't be you. There's no way it's the same guy. That dude was a dog shit ninja main. No way it's the same guy. Why are you such a doomer?
definitely promises to be...
I'm supposed to be the doomer here, not you.
One of a constant adventure. Now, I'm curious. I do want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this annual expansion model? Or is it working for you? Or do you more so prefer the epic scale of old releases? If you did hear all this and you said that Guild Wars 2 is a game that you wish to play, you can click this video here to get the entirety of the beginner's guide for Guild Wars 2 in 2025.
Should I watch the beginner's guide? Do I watch the beginner's guide? Or do I watch the beginner's guide, or do I watch like reasons why to play Guild Wars 2 in 2025? Because right now, I'll be honest, I didn't watch any beginner guides. I didn't watch anything. I just raw dogged into Guild Wars 2 and just started playing. And it's been kind of a clown fiesta. My character is somehow dressed as a maid. I've been running around. I lost my Mount Kevin for a while. I had to get him back. Like it's been fun though. What level are you? I don't know. I'm like level 40 or something.